Good morning, bro.
How you feeling?
I'm all right. I just woke up. I'm trying to get it myself together before I turn the camera on.
I feel you. That is.
Huh?
I said, I feel you. I know how that go.
Oh yeah. You cut your hair?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Wow.
Um, I feel like at the point that I started growing out my hair, it was definitely during like a big transition in my life,
Uh-huh.
and um, definitely like a lot of learning lessons and things that I've had while I had my hair, and I felt like I was just coming into a new chapter, and it was just time to like kind of release that energy and maybe start over. I'm not sure,
Okay.
but yeah, that was the sentiment.
Yeah. I like it. The waves is popping.
Of course, you
Yes.
know.
They still there.
It's only been like a day.
Yo.
Yeah, they already coming back in. Good morning.
Good morning. It's still morning.
It's still morning.
Good morning, love. How are you?
Good morning. I'm all right.
No.
I told Scotty I just woke up. I'm about to get myself together real quick before I turn the camera on.
Okay. Understood. You know, I thought I saw something different about your hair yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm here.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good
How are
morning,
you?
Leslie. Did you really cut it all off?
Hmm.
Yeah. Tired?
Um, New season,
Got you.
and at the point that I'm doing any type of business negotiations and things of that nature, I feel like a low cut is a little bit more advantageous as well in regards to look and feel.
Yeah, I thought you had to pull back for a minute.
Yeah, all right.
I did, because I was like, oh, maybe he was some gel and he slicked it back and just he had a little puff like mine.
Nah.
Sometimes that worked too. Nobody wants to be seen today, I see.
Yeah, if we can turn on cameras, that would be awesome.
I guess it's coming. They'll figure it out. I've been getting ready since 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I had a pretty slow morning too.
I just ain't wake up on the right side. I guess I gotta switch sides with your dad.
I feel that too. All right, I know Ashley can't make it.
Mhm.
Um, Good morning.
I get my tripod real quick.
I've been trying to get one of those. You got one that works well?
Oh,
Uh-oh. There go Miss Smith. Mrs. Smith. She probably gonna keep it on mute.
yeah, she's probably working.
Yeah.
And then the only person that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is Kamoy.
Kamoy. I know how to say it now. Kamoy. Okay, so I know you starting the meeting, but I wanted to let you know that Genesis suggested yesterday that we put Chrome remote desktop on our computers.
Yeah, so that they can control it if they need to.
Yeah, I had a question about that cash advance, and so he was able to get into it to see the tax return, but I think it might have been easier if he could have just did a desktop remote thing. So the other thing he gave me was lead connector
Mm-hmm.
app for your phone. because the text messages aren't working through the CRM, and the lead connector will allow you to do text messages through your phone and still hide your telephone number. Do yourself a favor. Make sure we got that straight. I had that gentleman texting me at 10:30 on Sunday night
Oh,
be-
wow.
because I made a mistake of sending the app through my
Hold on.
sharing that the text to go app through my phone, which allowed him basically to have my cell phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I blocked him yesterday because I was done. And it's unfortunate because, and I guess Scott, you'll go through it, but the cash advance situation really is you have to file their entire tax return in order to do the cash advance. And so they thinking they can just give you some information. You need everything because you have to actually put that tax return turn through in order for them to allow them to basically advance on money that they would have been getting for their tax return.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
This is day one of Ken House personal in-house training. So I want to welcome you all. We are officially in tax season, and it's important now moving forward that we're all on the same page. We have plans of the day, and if there's any questions that you guys have moving forward, that we get them answered swiftly, promptly, and correctly. All right. So just a few housekeeping things that I want to go over. And then I'll also pass it off to mom here so that she can go a little bit through her experience with this cash advance, which we're going to touch on a bit more. Um, First and foremost, chat usage. This is for me as well as mom as well to make sure that we're sending only major announcements in the chat so that everyone knows at the point that their phone goes off that this is a important message that you need to read and that you need to follow up with, like or respond to or what have you, just to make sure that everybody is seeing it. um, as well. Notion, what I had invited you guys to, any information that we want to make sure that everyone has will be stored in Notion as its own individual page so that that information can be accessed at any time and at any point um, during work hours or what have you. You don't have to scroll back through the chat. You don't have to do any of that. It will be its own dedicated page on Notion, um, so that that's easy. All right. I'm gonna see if I can change my view on here so I can see all of you guys because this is throwing me off. It's like I just see Crystal.
I yeah, I got all six up on the screen, so I had to swipe you on your computer.
Yes, I got it. All right, cool, perfect, nice. I can see everybody. All right, so what we're going to be implementing is, which I'll put this in Notion as well, is a plan of the day. And these are outreach requirements that is going to ensure that you're going to see some of your own clients, right? I know that there was a concern in regards to like promoting on our own personal Instagrams or posting videos or whatever that may be. I know that everybody here has headshots in their flyer outside of Ashley, of course, which yeah, you know, we can definitely plan to get those done. Um, but you should be utilizing those professional headshots. You should be utilizing those flyers. And if you need me to make you a flyer specifically because you feel like this would work, you just got to let me know. And I'll make sure that that gets to you within 3 to 5 days or so. So daily outreach goals, we're talking about 15 texts to your contacts in your phone, just letting them know. Which I'll send you guys a script. Hey, my name is Leslie, for example. I'm with Kennet House Tax Group, and we provide we help people maximize refunds and reduce what they owe every tax season. So we're starting with solving a problem, right? We're not starting with this is what we do. This is how we can help. And then these are the services that we offer so that you're catching people's attention immediately. Oh, they want to help me save money. Oh, they want to help me maximize on my refund. Oh, they help businesses and their professionals in tax strategy and X, Y, and Z. So I will copy and paste this script into Notion so that you guys have something to utilize. All right. Um, 10 social media DMs, same thing. Can you essentially use the same script? And 3 to 5 phone calls. If you have family, friends, whatever, you can utilize that as well. Just be like, hey, yo, if you utilize the referral program, hey, even if you know anybody that needs their taxes done, we offer a referral program, $100 per referral at the point that they file. You get $100. Um, and that's pretty self-explanatory, and there's no cap on that. All right. 5 follow-ups, hot leads, contacts from previous day. So if there's anybody that you reached out to, they answered, they're interested, making sure that you're following up with them so that you stay front of mind. That's an important piece to all of this for sure. If you reach out to people and they're like, okay, cool, and then they don't hear from you, you know, by the time they get their W-2s or their last pay stub or whatever, they're going to forget, especially if they have someone else that they've been doing their taxes with. So you definitely want to make sure that you're staying front of mind for sure. All right. Track all of your outreach in your CRM or Notion with status tags. I can set you guys up with your own Notion pages so that you can input who you reached out to, when you reached out to them, and at the point that you need to follow up with them so that you guys can have some type of system in that regard, to keep things organized on your end. Now, again, this is your money. This is your opportunity to make your money. So you want to make sure that you're doing this. You want to make sure that you're staying organized. Um, and we're just here to really help facilitate you making, your money for this opportunity, right? Um, what to say after they respond? If interested, great. I just need a few pieces of info to estimate your refund and deductions. Like I said, I'll put this script into Notion so that you guys can follow it. And also, education portion. Now, there's a lot of stuff coming out on irs.gov. I'll make sure that I link that as well. Largely from the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, that is going to affect 2026. Expanded and permanent federal tax bracket and higher standard deductions. New expanded deductions, including overtime pay deduction up to 12,500. So anybody W-2 that has overtime, you can have a deduction up to 12,500. Tip income deductions up to 25,000. Senior deductions 6,000 per person, in addition to standard deductions as well. Car loan interest deductions up to 10,000. And they would have to obviously have that information to be able to prove that I've been paying interest up to this amount, and that can be deducted from their tax refund. Child tax credit increase up to 2,200 per child. SALT deduction cap increase to 40,000 with income limits. New forms like 1099 DA for crypto and Form 1098. Increased reporting requirements on gig economy income and crypto. IRS is phasing out paper refund checks starting 2026. So there's an emphasis on direct deposits that you guys want to make sure that they're aware of. Like, you're not going to be able to get paper checks in the mail. Everything is going to be direct deposit. And then IRS recommends taxpayers to get an identity protection PIN, IP PIN, to prevent fraud. All right. Um, whose music it is? Probably Crystal's. Yeah, I had a feeling. um, Now, for accountability purposes, In Notion, when I set up those pages for you guys, you gotta log it. You gotta log it. We gotta be able to see that you're actually making the shooting the text, making the calls. That's going to help us. That's going to help you stay accountable to make sure that you're doing the work to actually get clients. Um, Once we get the phone number set up, I don't know why there's such a delay on this phone number. We'll be actually able to track any text messages or whatever, any client engagement. Mom was saying, um, contacting someone and they're contacting you at this time, or they say this and then they don't send it, or they whatever that may necessarily be, and they say that, oh, you didn't send this or you didn't do that. It's better to just have information and proof, easily accessible, to say like, hey, we've talked here, we've corresponded here, this is the information that we got, this is the information that we didn't get, just so we can keep, face brand, and show that we're professionals in that regard. If anybody writes a bad review or whatever, we have, backing to say, this wasn't necessarily us. This was on the client, or not saying that we would necessarily do that, but we would know on our end. Outside of that, cash advances, what we've been experiencing thus far, they do need a W-2 to be able to move forward with their cash advance. It's been told to us that some people really don't do cash advance because more often than not, people don't have that information and they're just trying to get you to move forward with a pay stub, and it is illegal to move forward with a pay stub. You have to have a W-2. Um, but people tend to know that if they don't have their W-2 and they still want to push it forward, and you end up in a whole bunch of shit because of that. If you're getting any cash advance inquiries, I would say schedule a time, to go through it with Mom, with Kamoy, with Leslie. I think that you guys have gotten a bit more experience in that regard, just to make sure that we're all on the same page and that we're doing what we need to do to make sure that the information is submitted correctly. We are filing taxes, but cash advance is a good way to, one, get people in the door at the point that you file it. It is essentially your file. You get credit for filing that person's taxes. There's not really much that they can do. At the point that you do their cash advance, that is considered your file, and you will get paid for it. So it's a good way to get people in the door. It's also a good way to build rapport, even if they don't qualify for a cash advance. You can let them know, hey, you may not qualify, but I'll follow up with you in X amount of time to see if we can help you with your taxes. We also offer other, products as well in regards to just investment tools, tax strategy, accounting, bookkeeping, etc., that you can also offer as an upsell, and you'll also get that referral fee as well. So there's a lot of ways to make money. There's a lot of ways to keep people involved, even if they don't get the cash advance. But you just have to have that forward thinking mindset in order to really capitalize on the opportunity. Um, Other than that, yeah, I would like to quickly go through Notion, but before I do that, is there any questions that you guys have thus far? No questions. None at all. Not one. Everybody should have a question. Let me get one question from everybody.
So we should have Notion on our desktop also?
As an app, or you can it's actually a website. So you can actually just log into it via the website. Let me see real quick. Add members. Boom.
I actually do got a question.
I think you guys are all in here essentially. Okay, you're already a team member. Ashley, Harriet, Crystal. Okay, Leslie, Dora, Kimura, Harriet, and then
I actually thought we was using Go High for that, but to
Well,
log everything.
well, yeah, that'll be there, but Notion is more so for keeping up with your own calls, um, keeping up with your own follow ups and things of that nature. More so of like, did I hit my goal today? Did I reach out to 15 people? Did I DM 10 people? Did I make a call to 5 people? And just tracking that more so. Um, More so of the goal setting, less about the actual tracking of at the point that you send a text message via the CRM. Once it's set up, if you actually made a call via the CRM, once it's set up, that will be there. That can be our proof. But at the point that you're like hitting your goals, okay, I hit my goal today. I hit my goal today. I hit my goal today. Just for visual um, confirmation for yourself, more so, as well as any information keeping. So you guys will have. Can everybody? Well, I know some people are on the phone, but if you guys have your laptops in front of you, I sent an invite to the team space. Can everybody see if they got that email?
So we go to the top left and we go down to Tillman Brothers and we click that.
Let me see your. Can you share your screen, or just turn your phone towards the screen? And you might have to turn your blur off, and then flip your camera around and just point your phone at the screen.
Yeah, let's flip it because that makes more sense. When
Okay,
I
perfect. Bring it closer to the left. This is why I usually prefer for you guys to just be on your laptop so that you can just share it and then I can control it. And it's still kind of blurry.
I think it's the reflection. I'm gonna switch spots.
No, 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 no. It's okay. No, you can stay there. It's fine.
Mhm.
All right,
All right.
let's flip it back around. I'm going to share on my end and see if it's corresponding with you guys.
So I went
All
here.
right, can you guys see that? Can you guys see my screen? Yeah, everybody can see it. Oh
See
wait,
you.
I didn't get my one question from everybody.
Is this is this in Notion
Yeah,
that I'm
this
looking at?
this is Notion. Yeah.
So I'm supposed to be in Notion for this email you just sent?
Mm-hmm. I invited you to the team space.
I'm in Notion, but all I see is like Crystal Roseboro Space HQ.
Okay. You don't see anything related to script for cash advance, task tracker, anything like that.
I I I did when you first sent it, but now
So
I just see set custom reminders. Um, write yourself.
I think she got to switch to the Tillman Brothers profile.
So
Oh, is that what it is?
yeah, so up top you may be able to see.
Okay, I see Tillman Brothers.
Yeah. So
Oh, Kennan House Group. Okay, task trackers, contact calendar, script for cash advance, Medora's task trackers.
There you go.
All right, I found
All right.
it. Okay.
Leslie, what's your question? We're gonna finish that first. One question.
My question. Are we gonna role play, one day, one of these days,
Yeah.
where that way we do like someone that says yes, they have the W-2, and then someone that says no, that doesn't have the W-2, so that way,
Yes, absolutely.
okay, there we go.
Perfect.
That's my one question.
We can maybe do one of those today. Kamoy, what's your question? Crystal, I'll count your question in Notion.
Um, just I'll be a little confused because I'll be getting notification on a high level. Those notifications for you, or because like
That like it's like a new lead or something.
no, it just be
Different notifications.
yeah, I'll be
Like
confused.
you post on Instagram and
Yeah,
I'll be getting on this high level. I don't know how to work this at all other than
like these.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. You could probably turn off those notifications specifically.
Oh,
Um,
okay, but they're not mine.
no,
Oh, okay, just making sure. I was like,
you know,
I ain't post nothing, so I wasn't sure.
gotcha. Ashley, what's your question?
She might not be available to talk.
That's fine.
She can always type the question in if she has to,
Okay.
but I guess she knew that.
And then Anthony, what's your question? You're muted. Oh, you got a baby.
I'm good. I ain't got no question.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Okay, so easy enough. When you guys go in here, you can literally just click text 10 clients, put status as in progress. I can assign you guys. You can hit a due date for, today. What's today? The 6th. You can actually also add a time or a reminder. It's pretty self-explanatory. You can do by, let's just say 2 p.m. These are just like outreach. All right. Effort level. This stuff like this isn't really necessary, but I can get rid of this. Delete. All right. So you guys can edit this yourself, and then I can literally just take this. Make 5 calls. Send. Obviously, if you don't have Instagram or anything like that, then you can't do it. But everybody should have an Instagram. And then at the point that it's assigned and it's done, you can literally hit done, and I'll know that it's done. All right. Set those due dates.
Can you copy that for everybody else?
Yes, I can.
Because I wouldn't have been able to figure that out. This kind of reminds me of the calendar and my iPhone. Is that it's kind of similar to that?
Somewhat, but you can program it a lot more. You can do a lot more with it. It's a team thing, so everybody can see it. Um, I really do like Notion. You can just do a lot with it. I think it's really cool, and it's just a central place for information. So here you guys see the script for the cash advance. If we wanted to do any edits to it, then we definitely can. But yeah, duplicate with content, and now we just change this to Kamoy task tracker. Change the icon. Whatever, you know. So, like I said, I'll be putting the text script in there, so you can literally just copy and paste it, send it. I'll be putting the DM script. I'll be putting the initial phone call script in there as well. Um, and yeah, guys, hit these, man. Like you're going to thank yourself once tax season really starts. A lot of people have already really started this process. Some people are already following up on people from that they know from last year that may necessarily need it. But this is what's going to make you your money. Seriously, the follow up, the outreach, even if you're not really utilizing, if you're not really posting on Instagram like, hey, da 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 da, on a regular basis, then this is really going to be your only source outside of just spoken, like word of mouth or literally speaking to people. But all your friends, your family, at the point that you hit them up on a DM or you hit them up via phone call, let them know that what it is that you do, and if they're really just not interested, let them know about the referral program. Let them know about the cash advance program. Let them know about the other products that we offer, and that's really how you're going to get your people. All right. Um, so come on. All right. In progress. Any questions on that? Pretty straightforward.
No.
Um, Quick question on the Notion part. Do we go in and we're gonna make our own task, um, thing like your mom has, or will you go in there and make it for everybody? 'Cause I'm not familiar with Notion, so I'll probably have to go in there and kind of play with it.
Yeah, I would play with it either way. Make your own task. I'll do these initial ones so that they're there, and literally all you have to do is just go to it, click this side button, and duplicate it, right? And then you can just change the date on it,
Okay.
not started or whatever. Um, but it's already there, so all you got to do is just duplicate it.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Got you.
Cool. Um, there was also something else that I wanted to go over with you guys real quick. Hold on 1 second. And I will send a text verification at the point that I add anything to Notion so that you guys know. But I'll also tag you guys in it as well on Notion and add you to the space. So if I add a page, uh, I'm just looking at Anthony talking to the kids like, no, don't you do it. um, yeah, so you'll also get invited. You know, I can invite people here as well. All right.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Cool. Um, and then also shift focus throughout the week. You know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that can be outreach to people, just letting them know, hey, let me be your first choice for filing your taxes this year. Tuesday and Thursday can be, hey, we offer these services, these bookkeeping services, these accounting services, these investment services, or whatever. And that can also be your day for reaching out to your local businesses and letting them know that you also work with businesses as well. Aim for those LLCs, aim for those S corps, those C corps, or whatever. Those are really going to be the easier clients to work with, only because they just understand that they're going to have to pay taxes. They're not necessarily looking for the maximum refund. They're more so looking for tax strategy. And usually with those situations, you can charge more. You know, we're talking about $500 to $1,000 for filing business taxes, because you know all the forms that they may need to submit. And it's also just going to be an easier process working with people with businesses. Point blank. Period. All right. So yeah, I think one of the kids might have logged Anthony off.
You push the button.
Yeah, I think he might have pushed it. See, he's back. Did the kids push the button, log you off? No, I'm playing.
No, so I'm on the phone, and for some reason, anytime I'm trying to speak, I gotta like slide all the way over. I gotta click speak, and then when I'm trying to push it back, it, it won't mute. As you can hear my force roaring in the background, he over here, he about to get body slam him because he not listening.
All right. All good. Okay, Mom, do you want to talk a little bit about the cash advance process and what you kind of experienced there?
Um, well, I think we're still all trying to figure this out. So essentially with the cash advance situation, um, you really it's not a 10 or 15-minute process. I wish it were. It's not something you plug in and magically you get some dollar amount for this client. Essentially, you really are filing the client's tax return. And I don't think that that's clear to a lot of folks when they promote this. Essentially, you are becoming that client's tax preparer for this year. So you need all of that information. So the difficult part I had with this particular client is that essentially he didn't want to upload his information through the Tax to Go app. And I actually didn't want to have his information, meaning, you know, we're not doing pictures and sending texts and that type of thing. Maybe once you get the client, you might be comfortable with that. But the initial client, there you would definitely want to establish some type of trust. And I felt like them putting that information in the Tax to Go app was the best way for that to let them know that their information is secure. But I also think it has to do with what generation you're from. Some of us don't have any problem with just uploading our information and we understand that it's going to be secure. For some of us, um, we don't necessarily wrap our head around that. So, he uploaded the W-2, he did the selfie, he did his driver's license, he typed in his wife's information and his two children's information, but he didn't provide me with any proof of those tax ID numbers, social security numbers, I-10 numbers, that type of thing. And essentially that's what slowed the process down, with the understanding that if I am actually filing the tax return, then he needs to be aware of what it's going to cost for us to file that tax return. And we don't have that information set up necessarily to give out. This is not about just a cash advance fee. You're trying to also get paid a fee for filing that tax return. So I understand that sending out this flyer about cash advance is a way to get leads, but there has to be a clear understanding that, okay, we may be able to get you an advance, but we have to file your tax return because that number is dependent on that tax return being submitted and it being correct and us doing the due diligence and the checklist to get all of that information. So it's really not a 10 or 15-minute process. You're actually doing that tax return. Which if they're uploading the information and it's just a W-2 and verifying some information and making sure everything gets typed in and doing the checklist. So you might be in it for about maybe an hour of your time. So I could see collecting that $300 fee if that's our starting base in reference to what we're going to charge to do a basic W-2 tax return and enter in some dependents. But I felt like with the amount of money that was on this W-2, I'm thinking he must have had a house. He must have had mortgage interest. He had to have real estate tax. He had to have other things, but they're looking for, what's that number and get me that money. But you need to really complete that full tax return in order to basically make sure that you're getting them the most money that they could get. So the interview process for doing this is all of those things. Do you have a side hustle, another business? Should we be filing you a Schedule C? This is not a quick process. You're really promoting, oh, if you become our client and we file your tax return and we can do it early for you because you have your W-2, we still need to go through all of those steps in order to do the tax return so we can maximize how much you can get as a cash advance. I think maybe I'm a little confused with this situation only because if you're going to go through all of this process, I guess it's the time in which you submit the return and how quick they can actually get their money. And that's the only difference really in the process. You have to do that whole tax return. Make sure everything is inputted. Make sure it is complete from A to Z. Submit it. If they go through the normal tax process, what's that, 4 to 6 weeks? Cash advance is going to get them that advance on that money that the government would have sent them in 6 weeks. That's what this is about.
Right.
So with that being said, this is not a quick process. You have to do the entire tax return A to Z. I can't say it any other way. This is, oh, let me get your W-2 information and I can tell you what you're going to get. This is not what that is. Which kind of makes me feel like maybe isn't how we should be starting out. It may be how you get the lead, but once you get the lead and you talk to them because they're interested in getting their tax refund early through a cash advance, doesn't mean that we're not going to do the work. We got to do the work, and they have to know that, okay, we're going to charge $300 to prepare your return. If you have a Schedule C, that's another $150. I just kind of feel like we're not all set up with all the information that we need in reference to preparing that tax return. Yes, we got a lead because they're interested in the cash advance, but it's more than that. So this particular gentleman, more or less said, well, if you can get this through and get me a cash advance and the money in my account by Wednesday, then I'll be your tax client. No, you're going to be my tax client before you ever get. It's the other way around, and that's not clear. That's really not clear with this lead. No, you're my tax client because I just submitted your return so that you could get your money early. Is really essentially what we're saying. So,
Why'd you
yeah,
block him?
huh?
Why'd you block him other than the fact that he was contacting you late at night?
Um, so basically he said that he wasn't going to, file taxes with us. It was really nothing else to be said. I don't know whether he felt like that was still an open-ended conversation. He basically said to me, I'm not going to file my taxes with you. But, there's no convincing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to convince you to do something that you don't want to do. So there's really no more conversation in my mind. You just fired me. Okay, I quit. I'm done. So I don't know what, I didn't feel like there was anything else. You know, and I think the last thing I wanted to do at that point was to start apologizing because at the same time, I felt like that maybe that was unclear that this really wasn't a 20-minute process and that we would be following. But I did tell him, I was like, in order for us to get you an advance on your tax refund, we would need to be filing your tax return. Therefore, we would need proof of your, dependent social security numbers, meaning that, I need their social security cards and that was a little, and I have to say this. when I was doing taxes, I was in my early 20s. So you're going to come across situations where he was saying to me about an ITIN number. Well, I think that's an alternative number to a social security number, but it's still um it's still a 9-digit number. And so the system, the software was telling me that his wife's number was invalid and one of his children's numbers were invalid. So there's no way to really combat that without proof, but I'm not sure that if I had actually had the numbers, what the computer was going to do next. Was it looking for me to upload that information so I had the proof? As opposed to him just saying, yes, that's the right number. So that was a question that I kind of had for or Genesis part, but I mean, basically at that point I was already fired. So it was no need of me asking him for any more information. Um, because it was nothing else for me to do, but that's maybe end up being um a question for Genesis. And then
Well,
I can get back to you guys in reference to what his answer would be.
I
But
think even something like that would more so look like it's coming up invalid. Send a screenshot to show this number is incorrect. Maybe you're sending it to me incorrectly, but the system is not accepting this number. So there's something wrong with it.
so again, so now you find yourself doing all of this.
Right.
You're not getting paid to input all this information, which I basically probably have, assuming that he don't have a house and mortgage interest and all of those other things. Essentially, I probably had his tax return 95% done. But if he's not going to send me information to validate it, then what was all of that for? For him to basically tell me, oh, well, I'm not going to do it because you can't get it to me as fast as. Uh,
And that's
uh,
and that's and that's a part of the job, and that's
yeah.
also
And
a part
that's
of dealing with people that are W-2 as well. People want their money, they want it now, what for whatever reason that may necessarily be, and this is what we've been told and alluded to in regards to just the tax business point blank period, which is why I more so positioned us working with business owners, people that are accustomed to
too.
or or
Correct.
or don't necessarily need that money right here, right now,
Right.
or what have you. So that all that was very much so intentional. The branding, the messaging, all that stuff was very much so intentional. So if you're getting that inclination off the rip, then it's probably somebody that you don't really want to have to necessarily waste your time with. All right. Or you're just willing to go through dealing with the stress of working with that client specifically, but it's going to be stressful
In
initially.
some instances, it can be, but and I found myself asking him other questions, like maybe this was the first time he was filing this way. He may have had somebody who was regularly. He did have a 2024 return, which obviously didn't have an opportunity to see, but folks are used to certain things. You know what I mean? They're going to drop their information off in an envelope to their tax preparer. That's not what this is. This is not how we're set up and designed to work. We're trying to streamline that whole process. So I don't want anybody to get discouraged. Um, by my experience, but it was my first experience of doing something like this because I was that person in the office taking that paperwork in the envelope and sitting down with it and inputting it into the computer at, pretty much at my leisure because that's the way I did it umpteen years ago. I won't say how many. And that was and I felt that was the easy process. But again, sometimes that generational thing can cause a problem, and I don't want to dominate the whole conversation about my experience with this. But just know that you're going to have clients that may be a little bit more weary. But once he decided he was going to upload the information, which we were basically almost halfway, more than halfway through, you know. But if they're coming to you to get their taxes filed, then that's beside the point. They know they got to provide all of this. You know what I mean? This was some quick thing that he thought he was going to be able to do without providing everything. That's not what this is. So
And if he goes somewhere else, he's going to
he's
get
going to
the
go through
same.
the same thing.
Going to get the same
They
situation.
they're not going to allow it. They're going to go
It's
through the
either
exact same thing,
that or it's going to be illegal.
and we ain't doing that.
Correct.
So I wasn't upset that I got fired, but I knew he wasn't going to get what he wanted, regardless of where he was going. So here you live and learn, and for some folks is always a lesson to be learned.
Mm-hmm.
So by inputting the information, pulling up the W-2, once that information was in that app, that was a breeze. I was surprised at how easy that part was. I can attest to that. That's the easiest part about the whole thing. But I want to be upfront with how much it's going to cost to prepare their tax return. I need to be upfront in reference to any fees. So we definitely have to have that probably in Notion someplace in reference to what we're starting with, and allow us some. And I know there will be some allowance to try to feel like if you want to get that customer like $50 discount or something because you really feel like you rate close at that hook, and 300 is just a little you know, uh, but once you get them numbers in there and said, listen, we're going to be able to save you much more than what your previous return for because you have this, and that wasn't on your return from last year. So once you get an opportunity to talk to them about the home office and things like that, because they do have that side hustle, that little $50 discount, that ain't gonna be no issue.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
did you did
what I
on the
did,
CRM?
say it again.
You was doing the actual taxes on the CRM?
No, do the tax software.
Yeah, the Fast Tax Pro software. Yeah, that's where when they use the app and they upload it, that's where it's going. It's going straight into the tax software. So all the stuff that they manually are typing in is going to manually show up in the screen. The only thing I had to actually input by hand was the W-2 information because it was a PDF of his W-2. So I had to actually type in the information that was in each box into the computer. And that was the only typing I had to do. So if they have more than one W-2, then you're going to be typing in more than one W-2 with their employer, what's in each box, the amounts. And some of the amounts will auto fill for like the Social Security and the Social Security tax and the FICA. Those numbers will automatically populate. But if it's like he was out of Pennsylvania, so for his local tax, I had to get Pennsylvania off the box, and I actually had to type the number in with the amount. But as far as the name, his address, social security number, birthday, all of that comes right through the app and right into the software. So that was easy.
Awesome. All right. Well, what I did is I started 2 pages. Um, I started an intake option. So if there's anybody that you come in contact with that doesn't want to do the taxes to go app, um, which I believe that's what I linked here. You can actually click it and send it. Is there's also our CRM intake form, which can you guys see this? Familiar, right? So this is the same thing. They would enter in their information here, and we could get it via there. You would just have to manually put it into Fast Tax Pro software. All right, if they feel uncomfortable with downloading the app. So that's the only other way that we will take information. Um, and then also a tax questions checklist and notations. So things that you want to let them know off rip. There's going to be a $99 preparer fee for cash advance, and then filing starting at $300 up to a certain amount. So those are things that you want to let them know, initially. and then we can just add to this checklist of questions that we should ask. Do you have any mortgage interest? Do you have this? Do you have blah 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 blah, whatever that may necessarily be, so that you can literally just go down this list, put that
Perfect.
information on the
That-
side,
That's perfect. Yeah.
and move forward. All right.
That would be clutch.
Yeah, got you. And I believe Genesis has sent us something like this already, and I'll double check and make sure that information gets in there. But
Yeah.
as we get more experience, then we can add to this ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. I believe that's it.
Quick hour. That was
Yeah,
good.
a nice
Yeah.
little hour.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. How is Tuesdays for everybody? Is 11 o'clock on Tuesdays usually a pretty decent time?
I don't have a set schedule at work. It comes out every week, so I can kind of let you know it's weekly.
Okay, we'll aim for this time every week since it seems like I was able to get mostly everybody on the call.
Okay.
And then maybe if that doesn't work, then we can just do like a evening meeting on Tuesdays if majority of people aren't available at the 11 a.m. time. Um, and yeah, but I think one a week would be good.
Okay.
All right. That's all I got for you guys. I hope that you guys have a fantastic day. I hope you guys had a fantastic new year. We are in, like I said, tax season, so really utilize this tax tracker. Utilize the free marketing that you guys have access to with Tillman Bros Point Blank Period to be able to send out some of these graphics and things of that nature. Utilize the social media page. Utilize the website for credibility and things of that nature. Um, and let's have a successful, kick ass, rock star tax season. I'm excited for you guys.
All
Me
right.
too.
Have a good
Thanks, bro.
day.
Yeah, bro.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye, guys.
See you.
Don't be discouraged. Hang in there.
All right.